Hello and welcome back to the Morning Jackpot, presented by SoBet.io. Betting on the NBA. That's kind of the subject of today's show. It revolves around all the topics. Betting on the NBA, it's a difficult thing. We understand that. Betting on the NBA is not easy. Are you tired of throwing away your hard-earned cash? The amateur bettor just doesn't understand. You're giving Vegas the win every week by picking random teams and relying on luck. Every single day, a roster of over 50 vetted experts post their plays exclusively on SoBet's unique feed. Take Parlay Poppy. He was up over 110 units in the month of March. Or what about Hobby Capper? Now, I'm just naming some of these beautifully vetted expert pros on SoBet. What about Hobby Capper? 17-6 to start the MLB season? Are you kidding me? And you can't forget about Gutsy Picks Cash. Up over 100 units in the last two MLB seasons. Wow, that is inspirational. Whether you're blindly tailing your favorite pros or just cherry picking bets, SoBet's feed has something to offer for you. We can't wait to share our strategies with you on SoBet. So sign up today. Use code JACKPOT. SoBet.io. They obviously got the app going now, so you can check it out. Website, app, it don't matter. Use code JACKPOT and stop messing around. You can blindly tail. That's probably what most of people do. Or you can pick your favorites. You can get in a rhythm, and you can be up over 100 units in the month of March. The month of March is gone, so at least we have May. May has arrived. I guess we skipped April. What a night of basketball. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Let's get the vibes high. Let's leave some likes. Let's subscribe to the channel. Let's show some love. Let's turn on the notifications. We have quite the schedule to talk today. We got a lot of basketball to talk about, not only to recap, but also to preview. Last night, I don't know if we will ever have a more cold-blooded, memorable moment in a first-round matchup in the Garden. Tyrese Maxey, he's clutch. And Joel Embiid should be on his hands and knees for at least until Game 6, just bowing down to Tyrese Maxey for saving him. Tyrese Maxey, he struggled. I want to say it was Game 4, and the Knicks won that game, right? The Knicks kind of found their way in the end, and Maxey just had a weird finish. Didn't hit a couple of shots. Remember, he had that forced layup. And he just comes back in Game 5. You don't hit a logo 3, down 3, with the season on the line and absolutely bury it like nothing but the bottom of the net. If you're not cold-blooded, if you're not one of the best shooters in the league, Tyrese Maxey, I'm giving you a flower right now, because that was one of the greatest shots I've ever seen in the history of life. And not for 1 second did I think that Tyrese Maxey was going to miss that shot. It just felt like every moment leading up to that point was, here we go. This is the moment where Maxey proves that he can be the 2 to Embiid's 1. It's as simple as that, and we have a bunch to talk about with the Knicks and Sixers. We got a special guest joining us at approximately 9:10. He's a diehard Jets, diehard Knicks fan. So we'll stay tuned for that. But obviously, we got our lovely friend Nate joining us here on a great Wednesday morning. And Nathan, it's good to have you here.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Jack. It's good to be here as always.
Yeah, no, totally. Um, uh, uh, we got a lot to talk about with the Clippers, the Mavericks. They play today, big game 5.
Yes,
Celtics
yes,
and Heat,
yes.
they play today, big game 5. I mean, you had Knicks versus Sixers last night. We'll talk about that in about 5 minutes, but the Bucks season is still alive, and I'm kind of throwing question marks at it because Giannis and Dame, I don't know what's going on with either of them. They seem banged up, they seem hurt, and that's just the nature of the beast sometimes. But if you're Milwaukee, you somehow find a way to win game 5, you blow them out. You're heading back to game 6, you're down 3-2. Is there hope in that Milwaukee locker room, or are they just kind of getting to the end of the season hoping that Dame and Giannis aren't too mad at the organization, they're just going to stay?
I feel like there is hope, and I think it's because there's like Milwaukee's one of the older rosters in the league, and whenever you have veterans like Pat Beverly, like Bobby Portis,
Yep.
Chris Middleton, they want to do everything that they can together to win. They are a much more experienced team than Indiana is.
Mhm.
And I feel like there's a very good chance that they could pull out game 6 and maybe even game 7 before Dame and Giannis come back. I still think this series is as good as anybody else's. So um I didn't think it was before yesterday, but yesterday really proved it to me, at least, that you know what, these are still veteran players in the locker room who are very capable of just taking over the game. And it really matters when you have a veteran squad. That's why I like the Clippers so much. So I don't know how bad Dame's injury is. I know Giannis has been out for a couple weeks now, but
They were on the brink of elimination, they were on the brink of elimination last night, and neither of them played. That tells you what their injury is. It tells you that neither of them are coming back this series. So, game 6, let's just look at that, preview it quickly. Bucks Pacers in Indiana. Without Giannis and Dame, most likely, I'm taking the Pacers. Might be the first time I'm saying this all series long, but it's time. You're not going in there if you're Milwaukee without Giannis or Dame and expecting to beat an offensive powered Indiana Pacers young gunning team in that arena, in that home crowd, in Gamebridge Fieldhouse. It ain't happening. I get it. You win in Milwaukee. You win with Patrick Beverly being the headliner. God bless America. It ain't happening in game 6. Any team, not great teams, any team learns how to, match up after getting game 5 under the belt. Indiana knows their counter now. Indiana knows how to approach Milwaukee without Giannis and Dame like they never before. And game 6 is where Indiana sends Milwaukee home. You can count on that right now. And I've been wanting Milwaukee to survive this series, but I'm sorry, they are cooked.
I think they are cooked, but it's like you got to realize it's now or never. And if you want this, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's now or never. And you have your veterans, you have who you have to work with, and Bobby Portis. Let's see if you could do it for another game because you dropped 25. Chris Middleton, you did your thing. Pat Beverly, you brought that energy. If you bring that energy and you beat that Pacers team in Game 6, I got Bucks in 7.
If the
So
Bucks
we'll see.
if the Bucks win this series and Indiana chokes this, bro, I
Oh,
mean,
Tyrese
you're
Halliburton.
Tyrese Halliburton. You can't. That the arrow is pointed on you, my friend. If you're Tyrese Halliburton, you cannot lose this series. 16 points last night in a game where you can take advantage of injuries, up 3-1, chance to close it out. When was the last time Indiana had a chance to win a gentleman sweep any team? It just doesn't happen. I didn't like the performance I saw at Indiana last night, and I expect them to come back stronger and prepared for game 6, rested up. A blowout is sometimes a blessing in disguise in many ways. And I think Milwaukee is cooked. They are absolutely cooked. And game 5 does not change the opinion for me. We had one other boring game, but it wasn't too boring. Cleveland versus Orlando seems like the series that everyone's just checking the box score at the end of the game. I mean, there's people that are watching it. I'm definitely tuning in. I had like a multi-view split screen on YouTube TV last night. It was absolutely electric. I had the Bruins versus the Maple Leafs, bro, on the top right. I had the Knicks Sixers, which I would most of the times when the Knicks Sixers was like heating up late in the fourth, early in overtime, late in overtime, I just focused it right on that. I got rid of the multi-grid. But there was a moment where I had the Bruins versus the Maple Leafs. I had the Magic versus the Cavs. I had another hockey game, and then I had Sixers against Knicks. And it was an absolutely electric night because, well, actually, it wasn't electric at all, as a matter of fact, because the Bruins lost in overtime, and that was a brutal loss. Like, if you're the Bruins,
what's the series for the?
They were up 3-1. They were up 3-1, and they had a home game against the Maple Leafs, and they lost 2-1 in overtime. It was a next goal wins in overtime. It was 1-1.
So now they're up 3-2 in the series.
So now they're up 3-2. They got to go back to Toronto, and you got to find a way to win, or else it goes 7. And what happened last year? Well, we lost in the first round and blew another 3-1 lead. So let's not do that again. And if we do that, I think the city of Boston is going to be struggling, because last year when I'm getting emotional. Last year I was able to go to game 1 of the Bruins first round matchup after their arguably the most historic, greatest regular season in NHL history, right? The Bruins were the best team all year. They pulled off the unthinkable. They were in the first round. They win game 1. I was sitting glass side. It was the most electric thing in the history of life. And then they blew a 3-1 lead. And everyone expected the Bruins to win the chip. Everyone expected the Bruins to go to the Stanley Cup last year, and they let us down. And in that moment, when the Bruins let us down, I feel like it sucked the life out of Boston, and it allowed for the Miamis of the world, the New Yorks of the world, to create the Phillies of the world. We were playing Philly in that moment, and the momentum just switched. You could see the life be taken out of the city of Boston. The last thing I need is for our hockey team to blow a 3-1 lead to the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round of the playoffs, and we get sent home for back-to-back seasons, because that cooks the Celtics, even though people don't think it does. It does. I'm telling you right now, if the Bruins lose in the first round, the Celtics may not win the NBA Finals. This is a 2 or 0. Win all or don't win all. But speaking of winners and losers, we have Richie backstage, and he's going to join us here in a second. A quick preview on Richie, big Jets fan. But, sometimes we need to understand that you're not only a Jets fan, you can also be a basketball fan and a Knicks fan and appreciate the greatness of New York sports and Jalen Brunson more specifically. So without further ado, we got Richie here to talk some Knicks basketball. Everyone give it up for Richie. How we doing?
What's good, boys? What is good, boys? Thanks for having me on, man. Definitely not the greatest morning, Jack, to have me on to talk about my Knicks. But hey, man, a pleasure to hop on the show.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for coming on. Let's just get right into it. Knicks Sixers. You had it last night. You had a chance to close it out in the Garden. And let's just take it right back to Tyrese Maxey's dagger from the logo. In that moment, what are you thinking? Like, what went through your head as he's dribbling it up? Because as a Celtics guy, I'll tell you what I was thinking. I was thinking Tyrese Maxey is burying this shit. The second he pulled up from 30, you're like, oh, he got this. This is not a route. This is not just a random jump shot. I'm taking this 30-footer. I am burying it. I am not missing it. There's no world where there's any other answer than a dagger from 30 here. And he did exactly that. Sent it to overtime. And then at that point, the life was sucked out of the Madison Square Garden. And here we sit 3-2. Philly has a chance to come back. So what was your play-by-play as Maxey is dribbling up the ball there on that possession?
Yeah, and you can't forget the play right before that, Jack, the 4-point play that allowed that 3-pointer to even be shot and made to tie the game in the first place. Right when I saw Mitchell Robinson foul Maxey at the 3-point line and he got that 3-pointer to go, I was like, oh God, this game is not over. I mean, I didn't celebrate like we won the game yet. I was still antsy because we saw how the Knicks won game 2 somehow, right? So it kind of felt that same vibe. But when Maxey pulled up from the logo there, I knew it was cash. Maxey was hitting those buckets all night long, and it was driving me nuts to the point where, like, late in the fourth quarter, I'm like, Maxey's out of these magical step-back threes, right? He's out of these. Like, he's going to start missing them. And, bro, I got to tell you this right now. Tyrese Maxey is probably the only player on that entire team I respect, and I respect him a lot. Like, I think that he is a phenomenal talent. He is a star in this league. He's humble. He takes accountability. He doesn't complain like somebody else on his team. But I absolutely have a lot of respect for Maxey. But when he pulled that thing from 30 feet, bro, at the logo, every Knicks fan knew that was going in. Like, every Knicks fan knew that. When we were really a bad franchise for a long time, as you know, that's how we always lost. We're like, we have a lead with like 30 seconds to go. We're like, yeah, the vibes are high. And then something just wild happens. My buddy in my group chat texts like, great win, Knicks. And one of my other friends like, don't you dare say that. Take that back. Take that back. And then Maxey gets the 4-point play. And my boy's like, take it back. Take it back. And he never took it back. And then my friend blamed my other friend for the Knicks loss because he jinxed the Knicks. But man, that was a tough pill to swallow, bro. Tough pill to swallow. But hey, Knicks in 6. We took over Philadelphia game 4. Maybe that was all part of the script. We want to take over Philly one last time.
Listen, that's not the first time that a jinx has occurred in this series, to say the least. I mean, the amount of times that I saw clips of Sixers fans jinxing game 2, it felt like it was a roles reversed. It felt like it was a little get back kind of moment. It felt like Knicks are up 6, I want to say. And I'm telling myself watching that game saying, and I think the announcers even said it, it's like, oh, don't leave the arena now. You don't want to leave this one because this is very far from over. Actually, you know what? I think the announcers started saying that when the Knicks fans started leaving the arena because there was like 14 seconds left in overtime. And at that point, it was cooked. And then Knicks fans started leaving. So question marks about Knicks fans, but
you wish.
No question marks about Knicks fans. Y'all are going to find your way sweeping in the streets of Boston, even though you're not playing us. You know,
love that.
Yeah,
absolutely love that.
We're waiting for you, though. We truly are. But I heard you say Knicks in 6. So, in your eyes, does that loss affect the outcome of this series, or do you kind of just gear up for Game 6, thinking, let's close this thing out in Philadelphia?
Let's close this thing out in Philadelphia, man. We proved that we can win on the road in a hostile environment before in game 4.
Yep.
And Jalen Brunson is playing at an MVP level. Now, did he choke at the end of that game in the overtime period? Yeah, he did. A lot of that had to do with fatigue and, Stars make some bad plays. When he pulled up for 3 and he tried to shoot out of his shot and Hartenstein cut to the rim and he threw it out of bounds. Obviously, you can see the disappointment in Jalen Brunson's head, but I've never had this much confidence in a player for my Knicks team in my entire life. Like, I look at Jalen Brunson and I have such a calming feeling that he's going to get the job done and he is going to will this New York basketball team to where we need to go. And I think that he knows he made a mistake in that late in overtime. It wasn't just him. There's a lot of other players that impacted that choking job in overtime. Besides that fourth quarter to force overtime in the first place. But I think that this Knicks team is going to be ready to go. They're going to make the proper adjustments. We got to start off fast and just stick to that defensive game plan of shutting down Joel Embiid and shutting down the role players around Maxey, because I don't know if Maxey is going to be able to do that again. He has the talent to do it. I'm not saying he's not going to put up another 40 or 50-point bomb because that boy is special. But if it's just going to be a Maxey show and then Embiid, another thing you got to look out for, now they're in Philadelphia, they're going to get the benefit of the whistle. So Joel Embiid, look out for 25 free throw attempts in Philadelphia, which is going to drive me absolutely nuts, bro. But at the end of the day, man, this Knicks team has proven that it does not matter when adversity strikes. Bojan Bogdanovic out for the rest of the season. That is a big blow, but the Knicks have been dealing with injuries all season long. Randall's been out all year, obviously out for the remainder of the season. Mitchell Robinson was out for 50 games. OG Anunoby was out for a significant amount of time. This Knicks team does not make any excuses, and they will get the job done. They proved to be able to go on the road, and this is not even a road game, baby. We're taking over that arena yet again. And you're going to hear a lot of Knicks fans in Philadelphia. I don't know if you noticed, but in game 4, bro, Embiid's at the free throw line with like 40 seconds left. He misses a free throw. The arena erupts. The arena literally erupted when Embiid missed a free throw.
I thought I was hearing something. I thought I was hearing some weird shit during game 4, but oh my goodness. You mentioned Jalen Brunson, though, and I want to ask you this question. I've been dying to ask you this question. I want to ask all Knicks fans this question because all I hear as I walk around the streets in New York is, who the fuck is Jalen Brunson? He's the best. Can Jalen Brunson be the number 1 on a championship team?
Yeah. I think he can. Now, I think that the unfortunate issue right now with listen, championship team in the same conversation with the Knicks is still a little like, wait, what? We're talking Knicks championship?
Hey man, you're the 2 seed.
Yeah, like, whoa. I know. I'm just still I'm trying to pretend
year.
like I'm comfortable here. Like, yeah, championship, bro. Easy talk. I know that the Celtics have been in that conversation for many, many years. But we'll see if they ever get to there. We'll see.
Won 1 championship in my lifetime. So
hey, it's true.
I'm praying.
Now, I think, listen, what has Jalen Brunson done since he got to the Knicks? Proved every single doubter wrong.
Right.
He's not a 1A. Oh, what is he doing right now? Is he a 1A? Yes, he's a 1A. Now, the unfortunate thing with the Knicks is I think when it comes to a championship run, this is where I don't want to sound like I'm making excuses, but boy, oh boy, we're missing Julius Randle because we have 2 All-Stars on this team and one of them's out. Yeah. And Randle will change the dynamic of this team, and now all the pressure is on Jalen Brunson, and you saw that late last night. He was trying to be the superhero, and he hit a lot of those shots, and he also missed a lot of those shots where it was pure ISO and just, taking contested step backs, driving to the rim. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it would not. But I think that the way that this Knicks team is playing with hustle and grit and their brand of basketball, the sky's the limit, man. I really genuinely believe that they can get into the second round and face off against Indiana or Milwaukee. Obviously, that series is going to 6 as well with Indiana leading 3-2. And then hopefully the goal has always been, even before the season started, is you got to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's where I want this Knicks team to go. You got to be able to improve from last year of going into the second round and losing to Miami, and that's what I'm waiting for. Can I say here with a straight face and say, yeah, the Knicks can beat the Celtics easily? No, I'm not going to say that, but I will say that I think this Knicks team will take the Celtics to game 6 or game 7 and make it a tough series. And you never know. Upsets happen. And I think this Knicks team is built to beat anybody just based off their philosophy of out rebounding everybody, hustling for loose balls, playing with physicality, and just, getting hot from downtown when it matters the most. So they just got to tone it in the clutch moments as well, because boy, oh boy, last night they choked. They absolutely choked. But we shall see. So to answer your question one last time, yes, Jalen Brunson is good enough to be a 1 on a championship level team, baby. Yes.
You bring up the idea that Julius Randle is not playing. He's hurt. And obviously when you're missing an all-star, like regardless of who that all-star is, it's going to affect your team. And the Knicks have still stood pretty darn strong through a lot of these injuries, right? And it's a lot in part due to the consistency of Jalen Brunson and just making everyone around him better. He makes Dante DiVincenzo look like Steph Curry is what Stephen A. Smith likes to say. I don't know about that, but Josh Hart, it looks like a goddamn Hall of Famer right now. He looks like Marcus Smart, but can actually make 3-pointers. It's just
he's got to make free throws though.
He's got to make his free throws. Oh my God. That I don't know when it was, but he took a free throw last night and it was on the front end of it.
And happened twice.
Oh my God. That ball, he almost airballed it. It's like he's got the yips up there. But what I do want to ask, I can ask both of you this. Nathan, you can chip in here too. Is there a world where the Knicks are better without Jalen Brunson? Or not Jalen Brunson? Sorry, there's no world. Is there a world where the Knicks are are better without Julius Randle?
Nathan, you want to answer that?
From what I've seen from the New York Knicks, I think when I seen Julius Randle try to take over games, I listen, I haven't watched the Knicks that much, but I feel like he's had a tendency to kind of shoot them out of games and be a little bit inefficient. I still think that Julius Randle presents, a lot of scoring and pretty good defense. But at least right now, like even if Julius Randle was to be healthy in this exact moment and come back for game 6, I think, you just roll with what you got. I think the role players are playing amazing for New York right now. And me personally, I think you just roll with what you got, and you still got a great chance of closing out this series in 6. So me personally, that's what I think.
Like Richie, I'll let you answer here first, but my point is Kristaps Porzingis is out 4 to 6 weeks, and I'm just as confident that the Celtics win the championship.
As you should, because there should be no excuse for Boston, no matter the injuries. And I actually get into this exact conversation with Knicks fans and get into heated debates because I hate hearing Knicks fans say we're a better team without Julius Randle, because it's wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, Julius Randle, when he was healthy and when we made that OG Anunoby trade and we had Jalen Brunson, OG, Randle playing with Josh Hart, with Hartenstein, with Dante, we were like 11-3. We beat the Denver Nuggets by 40 points. With the healthy Jokic. We steamrolled the Sixers by 40 points with a healthy Embiid. And the Knicks were like on a 9-game winning streak. And that's when Knicks fans were starting to see something special. We're like, whoa, that OG trade, like, right? We were a little disappointed at first as Knicks fans because you have an emotional attachment to some of these players. We got someone in the chat saying something.
That's my boy too.
Hey, bro, honestly.
Oh, high school basketball teammate coming in the chat and saying this, acting like he wasn't a shot chucker himself. Nah, I'm just playing.
Give me a break. Give me a damn break, bro. Julius Randle puts up 24, 10, and 4, and he was having the best season of his entire career. And let's not forget, his presence on the court will take a lot of pressure off of Jalen Brunson. If you double and triple team Brunson, the way that defenses are doing right now, that's going to give Julius Randle one-on-one opportunities. He's also a bruiser. He matches the Knicks' physicality, and it will also take guys like Josh Hart and not having him to play 48 minutes, okay? So, like, it's just ridiculous, I think, in my opinion, that narrative that the Knicks are better without him. And this is a debate within our own fan base. This is
what they called me back in the day. They called me the shooter.
And I just gotta call out his nonsense I see in the chat. Ghost picks Jimmy. The Knicks are not a playoff team. What a bum that guy is. Yeah, right. Second seed in the East, 50 wins. We're no playoff team. Give me a break, bro. Has to be a troll job, Jack. Has to be a troll job.
Listen, you never know what you've seen on this beautiful internet that we, the world's a crazy place, man. What I do want to ask you, we're on the topic of Jalen Brunson a little bit, and we've been kind of debating just about Jalen Brunson recently a lot due in part to his rise of fame and superstar status, frankly. He was ranked number 5 in a top 25 NBA players list heading into the playoffs. There were a lot of names that were like not even on the list because of injury. Like Giannis, I don't even think was on the list. Jimmy Butler, I don't want to say was on the list. Obviously, Steph's not in the playoffs. He wasn't on the list. So you got to take those guys into account. But Jalen Brunson was 5. Jason Tatum was 7. And I've never reacted to something in such a wow, that was the most disrespectful thing in the history of life. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Is there a world where Jalen Brunson is actually better than Jason Tatum?
I think if you just look at it from the perspective of what we saw from this regular season, and you look at what Jalen Brunson did, despite all the injuries suffered around him, and him single-handedly, and I don't want to take any disrespect from Hartenstein and Josh Hart and Dante and the role players around him because they had a big impact in OG Anunoby. But what Jalen Brunson did this year, bro, I mean, you look at the numbers, especially in the new year of 2024.
Yep.
The thing about Jason Tatum is he's a part of the best team in the NBA, in my opinion, the Boston Celtics, and he's that number 1 piece. But he had a lot of help around him, and that team is deep, and the Boston Celtics are very, a threat to the entire NBA because of how deep and loaded they are. Whereas the Knicks have been suffering injuries, and Brunson had to kind of put this team on his back and put up 35 plus a night. So I think that's why, if you ask, who's the better basketball player, Jason Tatum or Jalen Brunson, that's a different conversation than look back at this past regular season. Who's the most valuable player on their basketball team and who had a better overall season statistically and helping that team get to the promised land? I think it's Jalen Brunson. And that's not any disrespect to Jason Tatum. It's more just like what Jalen Brunson did was sensational and special because this guy was literally putting up 35 plus every single night. Mm-hmm. And Tatum did not need to do that.
Right.
He did not need to put up 35 plus a night for the Celtics to win. But for the Knicks standpoint, we had to rely on Brunson to do that.
Jason Tatum is my glorious king, as you know. but for the first time, I'm starting to respect Jalen Brunson a little more because that explanation was truly beautiful. Like, Nathan, what he was able to just do right there, I'm not going to say Jalen Brunson had a better season than Jason Tatum. I'm not going to go as far as saying that. I think
You're never
Jason
going to say
Tatum.
that.
Yeah, no. But I can see for the first time the actual logic behind the list, because that list, it was posted on ESPN. It was by some writer. They hid like number 2, number 4, they hid like half of the numbers. They only put 1, 3, 5, 7. They were doing it to clickbait me. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I can at least reason with it now, understanding that if you're going to take the idea that Brunson kind of put his team on his back, I love the idea that you're talking about all these different role players that the Knicks have and making sure we don't discredit what they've been able to do. But, Richie, you and I both know, and Nathan knows this too, the best player on your team is the reason for your success. He's the reason for your other players' success. Jason Tatum made Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum has never made Kristaps Porzingis look better. Jason Tatum is the reason why Derek White and Marcus Smart and Sam Hauser and Peyton Pritchard, all those guys, why they're relevant and playing really good basketball. It starts with your best player and doing it the right way. And so regardless of how many points they score, you just have to analyze the team play a lot of the times.
100%.
And lucky for us, Boston's won, New York's 2. Like we've had 2 of the best regular seasons, best seasons. So I get the respect to Brunson, but to me, I just hold Tatum to a higher pedestal. To wrap it up with you here, I'll ask you one final question. Jalen Brunson, is he, in your eyes, the best point guard in the NBA? And if not, who are the point guards you would take over Jalen Brunson? And we'll just keep it as simple as Brunson. Like, if you think Luka Doncic comes to the Knicks, Brunson goes to Dallas. You just flip-flop them. How many of those guys in the league, how many point guards would you do that with Jalen Brunson?
Now, the thing about Jalen Brunson and I'm thinking this from the standpoint of fitting the New York Knicks identity and culture. I think that's very important. It's not really about who's the better ball player, who's the better basketball player and stuff, but I think Jalen Brunson is the perfect point guard for this Knicks team as the character that he is, the natural born leader that he is, the way he galvanizes the locker room, and the way he just fits the culture of a New York City point guard. He plays physical. He plays with grit. He's like a low post center at the point guard position. Like, he's old school, right? This Knicks fan base is all about the old school 90s Knicks. It's the last time we ever were good. So we're all holding on to that era, right? And I think he embodies what it means to be a Knick. So you can argue he was. I mean, I think that you can, like, SGA is definitely up there. He's, an MVP finalist. He deserves his respect. Luka, of course. There's Kyrie. Definitely better than Lillard, but he played better than Curry this year. But if you look at it from the standpoint of this past season, I think Brunson's going to be an all-NBA player right next to SGA. So maybe I'm not going to say he's the best point guard in the NBA, but you can't argue that he played like one of the best, if not the best, in the regular season. And I think that this is just a taste of what's to come. I don't think we're seeing something a little short-fizzled here. Like, oh, wow, look at this cute little story like Linsanity was, right? I think this is something that's going to just be a year in and year out type of thing. He is 100% one of the best point guards in the NBA. I'm not going to sit here and say with a straight face he's the best, because I'll definitely sound biased as a Knicks fan. So I'll say he is one of the best, top 2, top 3, based off what we've seen this season and how he's been able to get this Knicks team to the promised land. And I just got to give one shout out, because I know we're talking about Brunson, to my favorite player in this Knicks team, who is breaking out in the playoffs. And I said it all season long. I'm like, guys, the playoffs is where stars are born. And us Knicks fans, we cherish this individual. And he is going to put his name on the map in the NBA playoffs. And he is doing just that. The Knicks have him locked up for the long term on pennies. And his name is Deuce McBride. Deuce McBride is my guy. And he is absolutely the Knicks' secret weapon next to Jalen Brunson. That is who is closing out the games. He's a defensive monster. And he is hitting his clutch shots from beyond the arc, attacking the paint. Got to give my love to Deuce McBride. He is low-key the Knicks' secret weapon when it comes to role players next to Jalen Brunson. Just saying.
I want to say it was Brunson gave him a pass right in the middle of the court, and he rose up at the foul line and just hit a beautiful 2-point shot. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong guy,
No,
but
that was him.
he's a dog. I'll give you that. I will definitely give you that. And to
I
wrap,
thought the game was over.
yeah, it's a wrap up.
Posted a video. Real quick after Deuce hit that shot. I posted a video on my Twitter, me losing my mind. Like I didn't say we won, but I was just like going crazy. I'm like, like just the energy that we won.
Like the game is still going on. This is one of the more electric games in the history of life. But my favorite player just hit a 2-point shot
from the free
I
throw
need to
line.
focus on this post right now. That is the most important thing. Like, bro, the amount of times I'll just have to, edit whatever Tatum highlight, and next thing you know, he turns the ball over the next possession. That clip is now irrelevant.
Yeah.
But to wrap up the Brunson talk, and to get you out of here, we really appreciate you coming on and spreading your Knicks insight. Because
I got a question real quick for Richie.
Of course.
Do you think Jalen Brunson is the best Knicks point guard since Patrick Ewing?
Knicks point guard since Patrick Ewing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Patrick Ewing was a center, but
oh yeah, I'm tweaking. Like just best Knicks player. Best Knicks player.
I know what you meant. I'm just messing with you. Yeah, 100%. There's no denying it. He's, in my eyes, he is the best Knick since Patrick Ewing. He's breaking all the franchise records. The guy broke Bernard King's record for the most points in franchise history in a playoff game. So Jalen Brunson he brought this Knicks team on the map, right? The only player you can argue is Carmelo Anthony, but Carmelo Anthony, he brought the Knicks to the second round, and that team was old. That team was fun. I love Melo. Always will love Melo, but what Brunson's doing is a little different. It feels more sustainable, and it feels like he is absolutely like printing his name as an all-time Knick, and he's just getting started. So to answer your question, yes, Brunson is the best Knick we've ever had since Patrick Ewing.
Well, I think a lot of the point guard position has to relate to the quarterback position. What do we see in football all the times? These teams that are literally for years searching to find a quarterback, right?
Good luck with Drake May, man.
Yeah, good luck, bro. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck with Drake May, bro.
You saw what his family members said about him.
Bro, I actually think Drake May is going to win 6 Super Bowls, and he's a future Hall of Famer. It just took me a couple of days.
I saw that video.
To that point.
I saw that video.
I went from...
Show us your helmet, Jack.
Bro, I love Drake May. I have no bad things to say about him. I think his character is great. I think he's, a Carolina kid.
Pretty boy,
class act, definitely gonna be able to sling the rock. He's better than Josh Allen already. There's not much more I can say.
Jordan Travis will have a better career than Drake May.
This is sitting in the middle here. Richie is Nathan. He's the biggest Green Bay Packers fan. More importantly, he is what I think of Jason Tatum. He thinks of Jordan Love, and if stocks are truly stocks, then hey maybe Jordan.
Aaron Rodgers had a lot to do with that development, and now we got another Jordan that he's going to be teaching in Jordan Travis, like he just developed Jordan Love. So hey, watch out for Jordan Travis in 2 to 3 years. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I do believe you can watch out for the Jets to potentially win the AFC East this year. That's just because we got a rookie quarterback. We got to develop him. We don't really know what's going to be going on in New England, but what I do know is that Aaron Rodgers is coming back. I wish y'all drafted Brock Bowers. I don't know if that gives you any PTSD, but before we get out of here, I'll ask you that. Are you happy with your first-round pick, or would you have went in a different direction?
Based off what the Jets did for the rest of the draft, I'm very happy with what they did. They traded up and got a very elite playmaker, in my opinion, Malachi Corley, who's known as the Yak King. I mean, this guy's the best player in the draft in terms of yards after the catch. So the fact that they were aggressive and landed a dynamic weapon in day 2 and got a dog at the running back spot in Braylon Allen to complement Brees, I'm happy with the Knicks. I'm happy with the Jets to prioritize the trenches because we don't have a franchise left tackle, and you got to protect your quarterback. And the Jets have been trying to build an offensive line for a while, as it's not the sexy pick like Brock Bowers would have been, but it's the safe and smart pick. So I'm happy with Olu Fashanu.
You bet. Well, we appreciate you for coming on. I wish the Knicks the best of luck here in this series. Make sure you get by Philadelphia. I pray, honestly, as much as I kind of want Philly to win, I'm also thinking, you know what? I'm living in New York City right now. Wouldn't be the worst thing if we got a little Celtics-Knicks Eastern Conference Finals. So I hope to see you back in the Eastern Conference Finals, but everyone go give Richie a follow on all platforms, and we'll throw all your links in the description below. But appreciate you for coming on and taking the time to chat up on Jalen Brunson and the Knicks today.
Appreciate you, boys. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Nathan. Good
Peace.
luck for the rest of the show, and I'll see you in the Eastern Conference Finals, boys.
We'll see you. We'll see. I'm taking the brooms out for that, though.
Oh, all right.
Jack,
Knicks in 7.
Jack,
Knicks in
Jack,
7.
you got to get past the Magic first.
All right, buddy. All right, Orlando Magic. We're gonna be playing the Cavs. But you, what are you talking about? All right, Richie.
Salute,
see ya.
boys.
Peace. Like,
Hey, fellas, how we doing?
Lloyd,
How we doing?
I
You guys hear me? Are we good?
yeah, we
I got-
good. We good.
I gotta talk to you real
Alright,
quick,
bro.
bro. I need an absolute lock. I need a redemption lock. I think the Phillies sold a pick last time, or
And then he followed it up with a winning day yesterday. So if you weren't on SoBet, then you missed out, Nathan.
That is
No,
true.
sure.
2-0 day yesterday. The Phillies actually did cash. It was the other play that lost. So
yeah, the other one. Yeah, I'm twisting.
it was I forget what play it was that we ended up doing, but I know we went 1-on-1 on the show. 2-0 yesterday. Cabin Slate already got 4 plays for tonight. If you guys are not on SoBet and you're watching this show, get on SoBet. I posted my plays that are out there. But do we want to do picks now? I mean, I can do picks now if you guys want to do picks.
I'm gonna pull up your slate that you created last night, and you can kind of just read them if that's cool. Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah. So
by the way, we got Blake Lloyd on the show right now, so make sure everyone go give Lloyd a follow. Lloyd's Locks, and he's gonna bring us 4 beautiful plays presented not only by Lloyd's Locks but also available on SoBet, and you can go check that out using Code Jackpot.
Absolutely. So 4 plays today that I love today. Phillies first 5. They play the Phillies go against Patrick Sandoval today. He's a lefty. Obviously, Phillies one of the best teams in baseball against a lefty. We talked about this last time on the show. Mr. Wheeler on the mound. Phillies going against a shit lefty. They're obviously the best lefties in baseball. Sandoval has been absolutely horrible. So we trust Phillies against a lefty. Now for the Phillies, obviously Zach Wheeler's on the mound today. He has been their ace, if not one of the best pitchers in baseball, Mr. Wheeler. So Phillies first 5 -1/2 today. I looked at it last night and I was like, bro, there is just no way that the Phillies don't absolutely rake Patrick Sandoval today. So, I mean, I love it. The money line is too juiced. It was at 180 last night, and there's no way it's gone down by now. It would have only gone up. So, Phillies first 5 -1/2. The same thing with the Brewers here, man. Emerson Hancock has not been horrible for the Seattle Mariners, and I thought about taking the under first 5 in this spot, but at some point the Braves bats have to wake up. They have been one of the coldest teams in all of baseball, and they're the best hitting team in baseball. So, and if there was any day for it to wake up, it'd be against this season. He had one game, I think it was a second start, where he gave up 8 runs, gave up 11 hits. So if there's ever a time for the Braves to be able to wake up, it would be with Chris Sale on the mound today for the Braves, who's been an absolute stud, by the way, and gone all 7 innings, almost in every single one of his starts this season. So we're taking the Braves first 5 -1/2, trusting them to wake up against a righty today. Obviously, the best righty team in baseball. We talk about how good the Phillies are against lefties. The Braves are that team against the righties. Yankees, Orioles, first 5 under. I love this play because of Corbin Burns on the mound. One of the best pitchers in baseball. Mr. Gill is on the mound for the Yankees. He's been okay. He hasn't been nothing special, really, but the Yankees last 2 days have kind of gone a little bit cold. They've been one of the hotter teams in baseball over the last 5, but last 2 games have kind of gone a little bit cold. And as far as the Orioles, I mean, their bats are just kind of like whatever. With Corbin Burns and Gill out there, it shouldn't be a problem to hit this under. And then Cubs, Mets, first 5 under 4.5. I couldn't believe that I was able to get this line last night because this game yesterday had 2 really solid pitches as well in Talione and Peverino. And this line was like 3.5 at -1 at almost plus money. I was able to get 4.5 last night, which I absolutely love, especially with Shota on the mound, Imanaga for the Cubs. He's been an absolute monster this year for the Cubs. I don't even think he has a 1 ERA on the season. I think it's like 0.79. Expected is around 2. Been an absolute monster. And then obviously for the Mets today, I think it's Buto on the mound, who's been solid as well. But again, neither one of these teams have been hitting the baseball very well. So I love all 4 of those plays today. Philly, Braves first 5 -1/2, Yankees, Orioles first 5 under 4.5, and the Cubs, Mets first 5 under 4.5 as well. I'm not on SoBet, Code Jackpot. Get on there. I post all my stuff as long as 50 other vetted handicappers posting our stuff every single day to get you guys the best odds to try to make you guys some money, man. So get on SoBet.
Greatness.
Wait, we're making some money.
Yeah,
Greatness.
Nathan, the one thing you need to know, you tail them all. You tail all 4 of those.
Bro, you know what's crazy? Like yesterday, I went 3 for 4 because I tailed the so bet play, and then I added like this one other play. I gotta pull up what it was that didn't hit, but I'm so disappointed in myself. I should have just stuck to the so bet.
Bro,
He would have had a sweep, no?
He would have had a sweep if he just stuck to the so bet, but he let his own
Oh,
brain.
it was Knicks money line. I don't know why it took a Knicks money line, bro. That's cut up.
Knicks money line. Oh man.
That's very tough.
God, no, I'm not gonna lie. We talked about it on the show. Yeah, we talked about it on the show. We all thought the Knicks were gonna win that game. So that was kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, they're up by 6 with like 30 seconds remaining, and then Maxey hits like a and 1 3-pointer, and then
Whoa.
Yeah.
We all had Nick. No, I had the Sixers. You can go back to the tapes.
Okay.
I literally said word for word, the Sixers are going to win game 5. They're probably going to win game 6. Why? Because they're at home, and then they have a chance to win it in 7. This one goes 7. That's what I said. That's exactly. Those are the words that came out of my mouth. I want to say
Okay. Fair.
Who do you got in 7?
Bro, like I'm so back and forth in this series. But if I
say
had
it right now, you're scared.
life or death,
Life
the
or death.
Sixers win this series.
Oh,
There's nothing. When I watch the New York Knicks, I see a team that is just surviving off of scrappy defense, 50-50 balls, and 3-point jump shots.
Well,
like,
they're getting. I'll tell you one thing. They're getting the boards, and they're hustling way more than the Sixers are. Like I could feel a lot more and a lot better heart from the Knicks team. But I do got to give that Philly squad props when, props are needed to be given, because Tyrese Maxey literally looks like the truth. I think he literally looks like the next guy to put up a 50-40-90 season. And a 50-40-90 season, only, I believe, 8 players in NBA history have accomplished that. Tyrese Maxey looks like he's next up.
I think Maxey could be so good as, a 2 for a team. Like he's the 2 for the Sixers right now.
Yeah.
But imagine, like, they had James Harden last year. That ain't it. If you have somebody to go with Embiid and then you have Maxey kind of as your killer, like, I don't think the duo of Maxey and Embiid is enough. It's not. If you make that a trio, if you bring them another star, if you get them a Donovan Mitchell, a Damian Lillard, like, I'm just throwing random names out there right now. But if you get a trio to that duo, then that team wins a championship. Then that team can make a run. Then that team can compete with Boston. But until then, their ceiling is finding a way to beat any other Eastern Conference team other than the Boston Celtics.
Do you think is their missing piece? Like, what type of caliber player do you think they need? Do you think they need like a Pascal Siakam type of player on their team? Like, what is their piece? Like, how big is their missing piece? Do they need another star? Do they need like another solid role player? Do they need what do they need? What do the Sixers need to finally become like a well-established kind of like dynasty / like good contending team?
They need Jason Tatum.
No.
Yes, they do. They need Jason Tatum to not be on the Celtics. They need Jason Tatum to not be on the Celtics, and they need Jason Tatum to be on the 76ers. That is their missing piece. If you want to be very honest with ourselves right now.
Alongside with Tyrese Maxey or swapped out for Tyrese Maxey?
They need Kevin Durant. They need a small forward. They need what's the missing piece? They got a guard. They got the best center in all of basketball. You need the middle piece. You're missing it. Okay. Lloyd, we're talking about what the Sixers need in terms of, like, is there a missing piece on the team that they could implement? Could they throw in a small forward? Is that kind of the missing piece that they or there though? Are they okay? Are the Sixers fine, and could they win a championship this way?
No, definitely not okay. But I heard you guys talking about some guys you can bring in. Dude, this is the hard part when you're talking about Philly, because you've already brought in guys for Joel Embiid to try to win a championship, bro. You brought in James Harden. Well, James Harden won it out faster than I can say fast, bro. That guy, he wanted to leave immediately, right, the second he got there. And then you brought in a guy that I think they could actually bring in that would actually help, right? But they already did. Would be a guy like Jimmy Butler, bro. I mean,
That would
Jimmy
have been
Butler.
so nice, bro.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy just stayed.
Imagine if he never went to Miami, bro. You're telling me that Philly wouldn't have gone to at least one finals, bro. The way that Jimmy was playing, you get rid of James Harden, you bring in Tyrese. You got Tyrese, Jimmy, and Joel going to work, bro. You're telling me that don't work out? No, it should have worked, but it's just for some reason, bro. Joel Embiid is like fucking KD. Like, it doesn't work when he does this with these super teams, bro. So the only answer is to do what we talked about 2 days ago on this show. Ship Joel Embiid's ass over, ship him to Dallas, get him with Luka, and get him with Luka and Kyrie, and let them go to work, and then start over in Philly. The process is dead. So start over. I mean, it's dead. It's never gonna work. Joel Embiid is not bringing a championship to Philadelphia, bro. It's not happening.
I know, but you see what Maxey does last night, and it just gives you a little bit of hope. I'm looking at this from the perspective of a Sixers fan, who understands that they ideally, realistically, they have the best center in all of basketball. If not, he's number two.
No, not the best center. No, he's number two. He's number two.
Fine. I still think he's the best center in basketball. Given Joel Embiid is the best center in basketball, and he's better than Nikola Jokic if he has the right team around him. Like, if you are the Boston Celtics, you would no. If you're the Boston Celtics, you would want Joel Embiid, and you wouldn't want Nikola Jokic.
That is not true. If Nikola Jokic was dropped in the Boston Celtics, they would win the championship every single year.
Jack, let me tell you.
Jack did win it every single year. It'd be the Celtics.
Well, that's what they're gonna do with Tatum.
You're really gonna tell me with absolutely full confidence that if you're starting off a new NBA franchise, you would rather take Joel Embiid than Nikola Jokic to start a brand new franchise?
No, not a brand new franchise. If I'm the Boston Celtics right now, Joel Embiid is healthy, I'm taking Embiid over Nikola Jokic. That is because of his dominance and his scoring ability.
But if
he's also not always healthy.
I get that, and that's why Embiid loses this argument, and I can't say shit. But in terms of skill set, if we want to just talk skill, ability, Embiid's the better player.
I don't think that is true, bro. Yeah, I don't. And again, you can't. And Nate, this is where I think Jack's coming at it from, like, okay, Embiid is like probably a better scorer than Nikola Jokic. Okay, and I still think that could even be argued, right? But he's probably a better 3-point shooter, right? He probably is more dominant in the paint. But it's everything else that Jokic does that Joel Embiid doesn't do, right? He's got the handle. He always makes the right read. He's probably the most insane center to ever be in a combo in a pick and roll of all time. Because he will always make the right pass. He'll always make the right play. He has the touch of an angel around the basket. He can finish literally anything. And he's just an absolute stud. And I just think that Joel Embiid he's not at that level when it comes to the other attributes that you have to have to center. I get it. He's a great scorer and he's all this kind of stuff, but he doesn't do the other intangibles that Jokic does. And that's why he's not as good.
Joel Embiid does not make everybody else better around him the same way Jokic does.
That is so true.
Like it's not even close. Please, Heat, win Game 7, then Game 6, then 7. I pray to all the saints in heaven. That's kind of a bar. Yeah, no, it's not
kind of a bar.
Though.
Yeah, not happening, but kind of a bar.
Yeah, that was my way. That was my way of segueing out of the Nikola Jokic versus Joel Embiid debate that we were just having. Let's talk about tonight. Let's talk about the two games that we got going on tonight. Big game 5s. One series is 3-1, one's 2-2. We got Heat versus Celtics. Heat trying to stay alive. They are cooked. We end their series. We end their season tonight. And then you got the Clippers. You got the Mavericks in a battle. That's probably the best series of this first round. Kawhi, I believe, is not playing again. So you're looking at Dallas. Dallas. Let's start with the Clippers versus Dallas. Dallas needs to win this game, and Dallas needs to go win this game. Luka needs to take this game. Luka needs to control this game and single-handedly win this game on his own. When I look back at this series, I'm going to point to game 5, and I'm going to say that is when Luka Doncic went for 50 points, took over the series, and was the best player in the given series, and he's the reason why they won the series. So Luka Doncic, the X factor tonight, and I fully expect Dallas to go crazy and win this game in game 5.
There you go ahead, brother.
I think this is our game to win, and I'm completely comfortable with dropping a game 6 if it means, coming back to crypto for game 7. We have it all to ourselves now. Lakers are out. We are that team in LA. We got to get it together. And there's not really much more that I'm going to say. I mean, I'm going to just let the boys do the talking tonight when they play. James Harden is going to take over. He's going to do his thing. There's no way you can stop James Harden. He is the system at the end of the day. You can only slow him down. So Harden's going to do his thing. PG's going to do his thing. And all we got to do is lock up Kyrie or Luka, one or the other, and we'll be fine. That's Russell Westbrook's job. And we'll find a way to slow him down.
I'll be quick. I think the Mavs win this game tonight. Let's talk about last game real quick. Paul George and James Harden both went off. Nuclear games from both guys. Does it happen again? I don't know. And I think even if it does, they still don't shoot 54% from the field and 62% from 3. That's what they shot last game. They won the game by 5 points. And it was a 1-point game with 2 minutes left. So, and the Mavs, on the other hand, shot 33% from the field, or 33% from 3, and 45% from the field. I think this is just an uphill battle for the Clippers, bro, because Luka's coming, and it's just destined to happen that he's gonna go far, and they're just a team in the way right now. But I do say this, Jack, I agree with you. This is a must-win game tonight for Dallas. You cannot lose this game tonight. You lose this game tonight, I could argue it's over. Because one of the next 2 is obviously in LA, bro. And if you lose this game tonight and either Luka doesn't play well or Kyrie doesn't play well or whatever, bro, you got to go back to Dallas, and you still, I don't know, bro. This is just it all in all, at the end of the day, this is just as must win as it gets for the Dallas Mavericks, because we expect them to win this game tonight. If the Clippers find a way to sneak this one out, bro, and then you get one game closer to Kawhi, right? You get one game closer to everything else for the Clippers, everything leaning towards the Clippers in the right direction. It's the Clippers series to lose at that point, and I think that you have to win this game tonight if you're Dallas.
Yeah, it's not a must win for the Clippers. Dallas. It's not a must win. I'll harp back on that. What I will say is the win is on the table. It is available to you for the taking. If you're Dallas and you don't take advantage of a Kawhi-less Clippers, that's on you. That's on Dallas for not capitalizing. I expect Dallas to win. I need Dallas to go out there and take this game and not sit back and just play passive and hope you can close it in the fourth quarter. Blow the Clippers out. They're not as good with Kawhi, not in the lineup. Luka needs to go for 50. Luka needs to go for 40. They win the game. It's as simple as that. Is it a must win? I struggle to say must win because it's 2-2. I believe Dallas is the better team. I believe Dallas wins 2 of 3 games here to end this best of 3 series, which is why I'm saying even if you lose game 5, if you're Dallas, it's in LA. So you get to go back to Dallas. You get to, defend your home court. Yeah. It hasn't necessarily been pretty there in years past against the Clippers, but I'm looking at this as a strategy thing for the Dallas Mavericks. If you are Luka Doncic and you have the ability with a 2-2 series, no Kawhi Leonard, to take over the series and say game 5 is ours, and then we get game 6 in our place to close it out. You don't want to lose game 5. It's very simple.
You know what this is? This is a 2-on-2. This is Luka and Kyrie versus Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. But the deciding factor...
James Harden.
Excuse me. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I got
Paul George and James Harden.
Yep.
Now, the deciding factor is not which duo plays better. It's which role players for them are going to accompany them better And who's going to come up better in clutch moments? Like, PJ Washington, or is Norman Powell going to hit some tough shots in the stretch? Is Zubac going to get his mismatch down low and finish inside the paint? Is Russell Westbrook going to have big takeaways? So it's all about which role players are going to step up, and that's what I think is the deciding factor.
I totally understand. It's going to be a great game. I fully expect this one to be a close one, especially you see the Bucks. Home court advantage is a real thing. I don't know if it's a real thing for the Los Angeles Clippers, but
unfortunately it's not. Nobody wears wear your playoff shirts. If you go to the playoffs, wear your shirts so then the entire stadium could look like a real playoff atmosphere again, not like a regular.
If I just bought a $110 Paul George jersey that I want to show off.
But no, you still have that
playoff
jersey.
game. I agree. It's a playoff game.
I mean,
I want to make one point about this game real quick, and then we can move on to the other game. Nate, I agree with you 100%, dude. It's going to be about the role guys for sure. But Jack, you'll agree with me on this, bro. One of the stars on either side, right? We got 4 main stars: James Harden, Paul George, Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, right? And I kind of discount Luka because it's not really going to be Luka. But one of the 4 stars in at least one of the games will not show up. And that could be the deciding factor in this series, right? Game, what was it, game 2? Paul George had 7 points. Well, if Paul George does that in any game for the next 3 games, they're losing the series. I can guarantee it. So, obviously, it's about the role players for sure. But one of the players, whether it's Kyrie, whether it's Luka having a bad night, whether it's James Harden being off, or Paul George, whatever, one of the 4 of them will not show up in the next 3 games. And that actually, in a series like this, with such elite scores on the floor at all times, that could actually be the deciding factor in the series. And I think it will be. So it just depends on what guy does not show up.
Yeah, that's a good take.
I don't know who said it, but LeBron, you look at his stat line throughout the entire Denver series. You look at it, especially in game 5, I think it was like 31, 8, and 9, some ridiculous thing like that. That wins. That gets you the win in 2018, in 2020, in 2016. You need Anthony Davis. You need a second guy, which is why, the claim of your best player, you go as far as your best player takes you. That's a factual statement. But at the same time, you also need the Robin. You need the second guy to go crazy. That's why when I saw Dallas in game 4, and when I see Kyrie Irving go for 30 plus, 40 plus, whatever it was, I'm like, oh, Dallas is a threat. Because if Dallas has Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving both capable for going for 40.
And Kyrie Irving was the number 1 in game 4 too. He easily was. And Luka gives Kyrie the keys to the car sometimes. He says, you know what, this is Kyrie Irving's team, just to be unselfish. And I like that. I like that from him.
Yeah, people need to understand that. And I learned this the hard way. And over time, I learned this. Tatum and Brown can both get theirs. Nobody has to fight over the basketball. There's enough possessions in a basketball game for both of your superstars. If you got 2 of them, they can both cook. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Tatum doesn't have to have a great game and Brown can't play good. They can both play good. That's the same thing with Kyrie and Luka. They don't need to have one of them go crazy. It's not take turns. That's what we saw in Brooklyn with Durant and Irving. There was no offense. Steve Nash, he was in shambles because all they were doing was this one-on-one basketball crap. And that's what the Celtics moved away from. And that's why Tatum and Brown are actually a good duo now. That's why they're a super team. That's why they're going to the NBA Finals. When you have this much talent in just 2 players, you just got to understand they can both cook, but Luka Doncic is your player. Luka Doncic is the guy that you got to get the rock to. And, that's never a problem. Luka always has the ball in his hands. But I'm taking the Dallas Mavericks tonight. I'm taking whatever the Luka Doncic over is. And I'm hoping, I'm praying. I think the spread is -4 for the Dallas Mavericks. So, Nathan, if you like the Clippers, not only take the +4, but sprinkle the goddamn money line, my friend.
Dude, we should keep track on the show. Like, everybody bets all the games, and we keep track on the show of like what's everybody's record, who's the actual best.
All right, I'm down. So you want to just you want to do it as simple as
we can
pick
just like
the
make it a
spread?
segment, like just quick picks or something, and just like you have to pick the spread. Obviously, you can take the money line down to minus 130, let's say, if we want to do
Right.
that, or 140. Because obviously you don't want to give out anything usually 150 and above. It's just usually not that smart.
You
Just when
mainly
start
just
looking
pick
at
the
spread.
spreads. You mainly just pick
Yes.
the spread. So Nathan, we'll start with you here. We got 2 games tonight.
Mhm.
This is going to the official record book. Okay, this is the Morning Jackpot picks. We might change the name. First game, Celtics Heat. I want to say the spread is 14. I'm looking at it right now. 14. The Heat are
It is 14. It's 14 and a half. Yep.
Celtics are minus 13 and a half. You can get that.
13.5 is nasty. I don't like that.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
The
it's
Celtics
nasty.
are winning by 40. What did I say on Friday? What did I say on
Wait,
Monday?
well, you got to also take into account the Boston Celtics for some reason are not good at home. You can explain that to me, Jack, but I don't understand why that is.
You know why?
Why?
Because we're tired. Our fan base is tired. We're done with this shit. We're tired of playing this fraudulent Miami Heat team that all they do is just try and hurt us. And then we got to go play Cleveland or Orlando. Like, bring us some goddamn competition and let's get these playoffs rolling. I'm tired of this regular season basketball. Yeah. This is not the playoffs. This Celtics Heat series has not been NBA playoff basketball. It's been football. No. It's been rugby. It has not been basketball in the playoffs. It has not been playoff basketball.
Jack has no respect for the Miami Heat franchise. Like, not even a sliver of respect.
No, and you have to respect Miami.
They're like a mosquito. The Miami Heat are like mosquitoes. What's the point?
So it's what, 14.5?
Take the 13.
14 and a half, 13 and a half. Yeah.
13. You get the 13 and a half with Boston. If you take Boston, you get Miami at plus 14.
I'll take it.
You're taking the Celtics minus 13 and a half?
I'll take the Celtics, yeah.
And then you're taking Clippers plus 4 or Mavericks minus 4?
Clippers.
Or Clippers money line at plus.
Clippers money line.
Give me a second at plus 125.
Yeah, let's get some chunky monkey on that.
There you go.
I like that. I'm going 2-0, baby.
Yeah, that's 0-2. Actually, no, you took the Celtics, right? 1-1. All right, Lloyd, what are your thoughts here? You got 2 plays for us. You got Celtics and Mavericks.
Yeah, I know we haven't talked about this game, but or maybe you guys already did. I just missed it. I do think Miami covers the spread. I do think Boston wins. 14.5 is a lot. This game's in Boston, right? Yeah, I mean they're gonna fight for their lives tonight. Like Boston will find a way to win this game by 11 points, and the spread will be covered, and that's just what's gonna happen. So Miami covers the spread. Celtics win. Call it a day. We need this series over with anyway, bro. As NBA fans, we need this series to be over. So
Kristaps is already out. Kristaps is already out 4 to 6 weeks. So they got him. Tatum has back soreness and a sprained ankle. They got him.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown's up next. Derek White, they're coming for his bald head. I mean, Miami is not trying to win this series. They are trying to hurt. They are trying to hurt our players. They are trying.
They want to kill Boston.
Bam Adebayo did that on purpose. I saw Tatum's response.
That was an overreaction.
Yeah. No,
I think it was a little overreaction too, but it still was kind of like sketchy.
Nathan, you have to fight for your boys. You have to fight for your guys, whether you're right or you're wrong. I was right, but regardless of the situation, I was going to react that way because whenever I see that ankle twist that way, it brings me back to game 7 when I knew we were going to win that game. We had it against Miami. We were going to win that series. We were the better team. We came back. We made history. And then they hurt Jason Tatum on the first play of the game. And so anytime I see something like that, I'm going to react. When Tatum was in the press conference after the game, somebody asked him, hey, what'd you think of the Bam play? Was it dirty? What are your thoughts? He goes, to be honest, I think y'all saw it. I'm going to try and just move on from it. But, like, the way he communicated was he didn't want to say it was dirty, but it was dirty. Jason Tatum, who is good friends with Bam Adebayo.
Team USA.
Tatum thought it was dirty. Tatum thought it was on purpose. So I have every right to come on here in front of this microphone and fight for Jason Tatum. He does not deserve that. He doesn't deserve people coming at his ankles like he's Kawhi Leonard and Bam Adebayo is Zaza Pachulia. Bam Adebayo, you are an all-star. You are a Team USA representative. How dare you do something as foolish and as weak and as fraudulent of a move as that? That's all I got to say.
Dallas, Mavericks, LA Clippers. 3.5. I'll take Dallas. Give me Dallas minus 3.5. Give me the Heat to cover. Give me the 14.5. It's out there on DraftKings. That's what I want. So I want 14.5. And give me the Dallas Mavericks minus 3.5. I think they get it done tonight. Jack?
Yeah, no, I got Celtics minus 13.5. You can I don't know if you can buy it up to get more value, but you could buy it up to 20 because they're going to win by about 21 points. So yeah, I'm comfortable with the 13.5 all the way up to 20.
Do you know what the alt line is? I'll find out right now.
Yeah, what's the alt line? I don't know if anyone's
I'll
ever
look right
buying
now.
up. I don't know if anyone's ever buying up an alt line.
The alt line is
I
ridiculous.
mean, if you feel pretty confident in the game, you can definitely do it. I mean, the Heat money line tonight, bro, is plus 700. That's insane. What the fuck?
Are you taking it?
Fuck no. That's insane. That's crazy though, bro. 700 is ridiculous, bro.
That's
Like
what
there's
he
still a
does.
like they're saying, yo, you have no bro.
Yeah, UConn
Like
got a
that's
better
just insane, bro. Literally, UConn would be like plus 1,000.
Nah, that's one of the worst basketball opinions in the history of life, Blake. We all know this.
What?
The idea that UConn could compete with any NBA team, like the Pistons.
Bro,
yeah.
the point of that, bro. It was everybody took my take the wrong way. I did not say that.
I mean, everyone was saying the take. People on ESPN were saying the take.
Oh, that was your take?
No, for sure. No, well, I just made a video about that went pretty that did decently well on socials. But this was my point, bro. Was that if you gave me the spread at 35 points, bro, UConn is not losing to the Washington Wizards by 40 points. I don't care, bro. Stephen Castle is an NBA player. Cam Spencer is going to be in the NBA. Like, all their players are going to be in the NBA. So, and they play more together as a team than anybody else. They're not losing by 40 points. And we don't have to talk about this for a long time. That was my main point, was they're not losing by 40. They're covering the spread of 35.
No,
they don't win the game.
Washington,
they don't lose by 40, bro.
Washington wins
40,
that game.
bro.
Washington wins that game by 56 points, maybe 80.
I just don't.
I don't know if
bro.
UConn scores more than 27 points in that basketball game.
More than 27 points. They don't play defense in the NBA. The Washington Wizards play no defense. They're going to score 100 points.
What I'll give you is this: the young locker room, the camaraderie of UConn, the chemistry of UConn. I'll give you that. I'll give you the idea that this Oklahoma City Thunder team kind of reminds me of like the best college basketball team compared to everyone else being mediocre. It reminds me of what UConn was doing to all of these college basketball teams this year. And if you just threw UConn in the mix, OKC, I saw a video after the game when they were celebrating the sweep, and they got good vibes. OKC has great vibes, and they're all a bunch of young dudes. It's not like they don't have any old heads in that locker room, which most of the time would be a negative. Most of the time, you need a veteran presence in that locker room. And I'm sitting here
Gordon Hayward.
All right.
Gordon Hayward, by the way, Celtics minus 20.5 or minus 21 is at plus 195, plus 200 is at minus 21.5. For all you alt spread guys out there.
I don't know if I'm going to take that. That's kind of crazy. But they're definitely winning by more than 20. Like, I literally said
take
it.
Minus 20. Take minus 20 at minus 195 or whatever it was.
Plus 195. Yeah, that's not a bad bet at all, actually. Oh, Yep. So
Minus
Celtics.
1,000. That's crazy.
Well, is that the money line?
That's the money line, bro. They're minus 1,000 to win this game
Wow.
tonight. Like, how
Who is?
insane is that, bro? The Celtics, bro. If you put $100 in the Celtics, I'll give you $10. Like, that's just. You put $1,000, I'll give you $100. It's just insane.
That's wild. Let's check out SoBet. Let's see if any of them are taking some NBA plays tonight.
Yeah,
Let's
pop in here.
Let's see if they agree with what we got going on. Let's see. Ooh, we got.
What's
a
TP3
Dallas-
got? TP3
got-
likes the Celtics team total and the Mavs -3 for 2.2 units. And max play. Wow.
I like it.
Road teams favored in game fives are 24 and 11 and 1 ATS. PG and Harden were 11 for 15 from 3. That will be hard to do again. If Dallas doesn't go down by 30, they should win this game. I think the Clippers already. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I like it. Mavs -3. Shout out TP3. One of the best
Celtics
NBA
team-
guys out there.
No, I love both of those plays by TP3. So, by the way,
Celtics team total over 55.5. Wow, I like that a lot. First half, nice. Yeah,
that's beautiful. I mean, that's
would
one of
be
those
up.
where you don't find it until a guy like TP3 shows it to you, and it's like, oh my god, this over 55.5 makes so much sense. They're going to be up. They're going to be up 27 at halftime. They're going to have about 73 points on the board minimum. So I love that wholeheartedly.
yeah, I love 55.5. I actually really like that. That's not enough points for the Celtics team.
Let's see if anybody else has any other NBA.
Oh, what'd he do last night?
Bro, Dusty Picks is up 17 units in the last
In
7
the last
days.
7 days. Look at
He had a bad night. He had a bad night.
he had a bad night last night.
But he's up
Still,
17.
dude's cashing tickets, bro. Up 17 units this week. It's crazy.
Why do I see Jets money line? What type of Jets is he talking
Winnipeg.
about?
Yeah, Winnipeg Jets. Yep.
Hockey. Oh, we got some prize picks here. We got Bam Adebayo, less than perfect. And then Kyrie more than 25.5 points. I don't know. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would take Kyrie's over for this game. I would focus on the Luka over, but getting Kyrie at over 25.5 points is great with the amount of score.
Never a bad thing.
No. Like you can expect Kyrie to go for 27, 30 points.
For sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
See,
What's Dime's on? Dime took the Knicks live last night. Ugh. Tough, man.
that's tough.
Tough.
Yeah, but
He's a free throw.
I remember when he hit we were at the first ever SoBet party, and he comes over to me and he goes, you're a Celtics guy? You think the Celtics gonna win this series? This is when the Celtics and Warriors were in the finals. I believe it was 1-1 in the series or 1-0. The Celtics.
Yeah.
I think the Celtics were up 1-0. We're at the first ever SoBet party. He comes over to me. He shows me his phone, and he goes, "I'm about to place this bet," and it was like Warriors to win the finals, and he put like 25 grand on it, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Welcome to SoBet."
Like casual 25 grand just to be bet on the Warriors to win the finals.
I'm a Celtics guy, and I'm sitting here thinking that's gonna hit. I knew that was gonna
probably gonna hit.
We were
Yeah.
cooked.
Did he put it through?
Yeah, I mean, I never heard the winning side of it.
Oh
but
yeah, bro.
all I know
Dimes is serious better, bro. I've known Dimes for a long time. He bets a lot of money and it wins a lot of money. I'll tell you that much about Dimes.
that's what you're getting on SoBet. Use code Jackpot to sign up and see that shit too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to holler at that boy Dimes.
Yeah, hit him in a DM.
Dude, he's an NBA sharp, bro. I remember betting NBA with him when we all went to Indy. We traveled like when I did that shit with Terrell and all them. We went to Dimes' crib, bro. He was just cashing tickets left and right in the NBA playoffs, bro. It was insane. It was in I'm not gonna lie, it was in the Celtics Heat series like 2 years ago, bro. Where the Celtics won.
Did you got the maps?
Oh yeah. That was right before the Celtics Warriors. That was right before the first ever SoBet party.
Yeah.
Greatness.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. Yep. You're right.
Truly greatness. All right. Well, I do not have any plays to give other than my Celtics minus 13.5. And obviously, I think the Mavericks come to play tonight. I think Luka comes to play tonight. But to wrap this thing up, Nathan, Lloyd, you guys got any other final plays to look out for tonight or maybe in the future here?
Just look out for the 4 that are going out tonight that are already on SoBet. So if you guys aren't on SoBet, man, get on there. Obviously we had 2-0 clean sweep day yesterday. Massive day for the kids to get back on track. First 5 under 4.5, Cubs, Mets. First 5 under 4.5, Yankees, O's, and the Braves and the Phillies, both first 5 -0.5 and -125. Love all 4 of those plays today, so don't forget to bet those. If you want to tail the kid, and as far as the NBA goes, give me the Mavs and give me the Heat to cover. Let's have a day.
Nathan, any final words?
Give me the Mavs in 6, or excuse me. Whoa. I don't know.
You and
That might be the last thing I thought that he was going to say right there.
The two of us need to watch what we say before we speak, because sometimes shit just comes out.
Nate, any last words? Yeah, give me the Mavs in 6, bro.
Bro's been saying Clips in 7 the whole.
Give me the Mavs in 6, bro.
Give me the Mavs in 6.
Clippers in 5. Clippers in 5.
That's not possible.
Close it out here, and we're going to close it out here in Game 5 with a statement win. Look, listen, Paul George, take us to the promised land. James Harden, be the system. We got this.
Yeah, said nobody ever.
Just don't get torched by Luka. That's all I ask.
Oh,
and we should win this game.
You just gave me 3 facts.
That's easier said than done.
Yeah, you're gonna get torched by Luka, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
but those are a bunch of morning jackpots just thrown right at you there. So I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Morning Jackpot. I hope you appreciate the greatness of Jalen Brunson, but more specifically, the greatness of Jason Tatum, because Brunson lost last night and Tatum's going to win tonight. So that's enough said. And we'll see you back here tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern time, hopefully to be popping a champagne bottle and celebrating a first playoff series win by the Boston Celtics on their way to banner 18. That's
the Celtics and the Clippers also being up 3-2.
Okay.
Champagne will be popped.
Champagne will not be popped for you, buddy.
Job's not finished, though. Job's not finished.
Job's not finished. You can still come back.
Job's not finished.
You're definitely going to be down 3-2, and you can prepare.
What's it to be happy about?
Job's not. I'm not going to pop no champagne bottle. Actually, as a matter of fact, Job is definitely not finished.
Yeah. What?
Or maybe
Job for you. Job's not finished yet.
Job sure as hell ain't finished.
Use code Jackpot, and I hope y'all enjoy the greatness of Jason Tatum during this Celtics game tonight.